Hello my dear dudes from America and other countries. I'm a Russian man who brings value through my own experiences, and today we're gonna watch George Carlin video, and I want to learn English through this because I'm on my journey to learn English and to move to America in one day, and how to understand English better if not only with comedy. I hope you understand me. Yes, and we will watch comedy and we will try to understand jokes and we will improve our comprehension of listening and something like that. Let's do this together. George Carlin is a hilarious comedian. He does many jokes about philosophical issues and about religion. Let's go watching the sanctity of life and about abortion.
To this abortion shit. But let's get back to this abortion shit. Now, is a fetus a human being? This seems to be the central question. Well, if a fetus is a human being, how come the census doesn't count them? If a fetus is a human being, how come when there's a miscarriage, they don't have a funeral? If a fetus is a human being, how come people say we have 2 children and 1 on the way, instead of saying we have 3 children? People say life begins at conception. I say life began about 1 billion years ago, and it's a continuous process. Continuous, just keeps rolling along. Rolling along. I say, you know something? Listen, you can go back further than that. What about the carbon atoms? Huh?
Carbon atoms? Yes, it is C in chemistry.
Human life could not exist without carbon. So is it just possible that maybe we shouldn't be burning all this coal? Just looking for a little consistency here in these anti-abortion arguments. See, the really hardcore people will tell you life begins at fertilization. Fertilization when the sperm fertilizes the egg, which is usually a few moments after the man says, gee, honey, I was going to pull out, but the phone rang and it startled me.
Pull out, it means that he had a penis, yes, and it was inside of this twinkle cave, and when he put out it, he didn't put out. It means that it was inside and something was happened, like fertilizing, yes, of woman.
Fertilization. But even after the egg is fertilized, it's still 6 or 7 days before it reaches the uterus and pregnancy begins, and not every egg makes it that far. 80% of a woman's fertilized eggs are rinsed and flushed out of her body once a month during those delightful few days she has.
I didn't understand it fully, maybe need to learn to me some parts. Fertilized eggs are rinsed and flushed. Rinsed, what is it, rinsed? One moment, rinsed. Rinsed, means that something cleaned.
Flushed out of her body once a month during those delightful few days she had.
Once a month during those delightful few days, period. Okay.
They wind up on sanitary napkins, and yet they are fertilized eggs. So basically what these anti-abortion people are telling us is that any woman who's had more than 1 period is a serial killer. Consistency. Consistency. Hey, if they really want to get serious, what about all the sperm that are wasted when the state executes a condemned man and one of these pro-life guys who's watching comes in his pants, huh? Here's a guy standing over there with his jockey shorts full of little Vinnies and Debbies.
Доброе утро!
And nobody's saying a word.
Excuse me, it is, my sibling is woken up, and I said good morning. Again, need to listen.
About all the sperm that are wasted when the state executes a condemned man and one of these pro-life guys who's watching.
Condemned man in one this.
Comes in his pants, huh?
What is condemned? Condemned. Express complete disapproval. I don't understand it. Okay.
Here's a guy standing over there with his jockey shorts full of little Vinnies and Debbies. And nobody's saying a word to that guy. Not every ejaculation deserves a name. Now,
that maybe this dude who became a human, who became a human after ejaculation, and this man is maybe dumb as fuck, and it means that he doesn't deserve life. He speaks about it. He speaks or not. It is like when they are not super smart, then they why should they leave? He thinks. Is it what he said or not? Okay, let's continue.
Speaking of consistency,
Sorry, I'm looking right now like a dumb and stupid.
Catholics, which I was until I reached the age of reason.
Age of reason. Need to age of reason. It is mini. I think it is 18. Known any period in history, especially the 18th century in France, England, etc., characterized by a critical approach to religious, social, and philosophical matters that seeks to repudiate beliefs or systems not based on or justifiable by reason. I didn't understand it.
Catholics and other Christians are against abortions, and they're against homosexuals. Well, who has less abortions than homosexuals? Leave these fucking people alone, for Christ's sakes. Here is an entire class of people guaranteed never to have an abortion. And the Catholics and Christians are just tossing them aside. You'd think they'd make natural allies. Go look for consistency in religion. And speaking to my friends, the Catholics, when John Cardinal O'Connor of New York and some of these other cardinals and bishops have experienced their first pregnancies and their first labor pains, and they've raised a couple of children on minimum wage, then I'll be glad to hear what they have to say about abortion. I'm sure it'll be interesting. Enlightening, too. But in the meantime, what they ought to be doing is telling these priests who took a vow of chastity to keep their hands off the altar boys.
Altar boys.
Keep your hands to yourself, Father. You know?
It's about that they are pedophiles.
When Jesus said, "Suffer the little children, come unto me," that's not what he was talking about.
Come.
Said, "Suffer the little children, come
Suffer the little children come
unto me."
Unto me.
That's not what he was talking about.
Yes, maybe it is right guess, my right guess, that it is about pedophiles in charge.
So you know what I tell these anti-abortion people? I say, hey, if you think a fetus is more important than a woman, try getting a fetus to wash the shit stains out of your underwear.
Fetus? What is fetus? 1 month fetus. A fetus, an unborn offspring of a mammal, in particular an unborn human baby more than 8 weeks after conception. It means that so small like an embryo.
For no pay and no pension. I tell them, think of an abortion as term limits. That's all it is. Biological term limits. But you know, the longer you listen to this abortion debate, the more you hear this phrase, sanctity of life. You've heard that.
Sanctity. What is sanctity? Because I said it not correct. Sanctity. Sanctity, the state of quality of being holy, sacred, or saintly. Okay, it is holiness or sacredness, sainthood.
Sanctity of life. You believe in it? Personally, I think it's a bunch of shit. Well, I mean, life is sacred? Who said so? God? Hey, if you read history, you realize that God is one of the leading causes of death. Has been for thousands of years. Hindus, Muslims, Jews, Christians, all taking turns killing each other because God told them it was a good idea.
Like it. Yes, because we have different types of religion and cultures, and they think that their God is better than someone else's.
The sword of God, the blood of the Lamb, vengeance is mine. Millions of dead motherfuckers. Millions of dead motherfuckers, all because they gave the wrong answer to the God question. You believe in God? No. Dead. You believe in God? Yes. You believe in my God? No. Dead. My God has a bigger dick than your God.
Yes, yes. It is what I was saying.
Thousands of years, and all the best wars, too. The bloodiest, most brutal wars fought, all based on religious hatred, which is fine with me, eh? Anytime a bunch of holy people want to kill each other, I'm a happy guy. But don't be giving me all this shit about the sanctity of life. I mean, even if there were such a thing, I don't think it's something you can blame on God. No, you know where the sanctity of life came from? We made it up. You know why? 'Cause we're alive. Self-interest. Living people have a strong interest in promoting the idea that somehow life is sacred. You don't see Abbott and Costello running around talking about this shit, do you? We're not
Who are they?
hearing a whole lot from Mussolini on the subject. What's the latest from JFK?
JFK? No, it is George Kennedy, but F, I don't know what it stands for.
Not a goddamn thing. Because JFK, Mussolini, and Abbott and Costello are fucking dead.
Abbott and Mussolini, who are they? Abbott? Abbott. What's the name of him again? A-B-B-O-T-T. A-B-B-O-T-T. Who? It means Abbott Laboratory? What? No, it is maybe another. Abbott. Greg Abbott proposed harsher penalties after police brutality. Mussolini, okay. Mussolini, it is some of the... It is Nazi, yes. Italian politician and journalist who founded and led the National Fascist Party. Yes. I started to remember. I heard about his name.
They're fucking dead. And dead people give less than a shit about the sanctity of life. Only living people care about it, so the whole thing grows out of a completely biased point of view. It's a self-serving, man-made bullshit story. It's one of these things we tell ourselves so we'll feel noble. Life is sacred. Makes you feel noble. Well, let me ask you this. If everything that ever lived is dead, and everything alive is gonna die, where does the sacred part come in? I'm having trouble with that. Because, I mean, even with this stuff we preach about the sanctity of life, we don't practice it. We don't practice it. Look at what we kill. Mosquitoes and flies, because they're pests. Lions and tigers, because it's fun. Chickens and pigs, because we're hungry. Pheasants and quails, because it's fun. And we're hungry. And people, we kill people, because they're pests. And it's fun.
So, cycle final note. Final chord. Finale chord.
And you might have noticed something else. The sanctity of life doesn't seem to apply to cancer cells, does it? You rarely see a bumper sticker that says, "Save the tumors." Or "I break for advanced melanoma." Ah, viruses, mold, mildew, maggots, fungus, weeds, E. coli bacteria, the crabs. Nothing sacred about those things. So at best, the sanctity of life is kind of a selective thing. We get to choose which forms of life we feel are sacred, and we get to kill the rest. Pretty neat deal, huh? You know how we got it? We made the whole fucking thing up. Made it up. The same way. Thank you.
Yes, I understood it. It is more about not jokes, it is more about life and truthfulness of life. And I try to smile about these things. I try to be positive about things, but they are really like he speaks truth, and it is philosophical questions, and so sometimes it is not even jokes. Yes, and for me, I understand that some kind of jokes. I don't know what is humor. Humor it is when you unexpect something, but it is expected thing, and it is expected thing, and you understand that how this life works. He speaks how this world works, and it is not even fully of joke, but people think that this is so joyful and so funny, but it's how our life works. Yes. Thank you a lot for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this. And it was about sanctity of life. Yes, one moment.
Sanctity.
Sanctity of life. And I think that everybody should hope or believe in something, not even in a god, but in kind of things. For example, somebody likes so much Harry Potter books, and he believes in Harry Potter a lot, like it is his life. Maybe he visits different types of wizardry and wizardry and wizardcraft and magician schools, magician tournaments, and he likes it. And someone visits a lot of maybe he's a fan of Game of Thrones, and he visits so big amount, I don't know, like a Westfall. I did not see this movie. I heard a bit of words. And Seven Kingdoms. Somebody likes maybe some of Tolkien book, and he likes to pretend that he has a ring that makes him invisible. Everybody likes to create their own things, and I think that it is all about imagination and our work of imagination. The more we improve our imagination, the more we believe in something. And I mean that you can use your imagination to believe in something, and it can cause a healing effect. Yes. Thank you a lot for watching again, and improve your imagination and improve yourself daily. You are a cool guy or girl, and see you next time. Bye bye.